Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to What's Map, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. I'm BonBonB and you're very, very welcome. Right, it's going to be a funny week. And I don't mean funny as in ha-ha, but funny as in odd, unusual, different. Obviously, we have today, on the day of release of this, we have the Queen's funeral, I have my mother's funeral on Wednesday, and I have DLC, which has completely obliterated my mod settings. I still haven't got it perfect, and there are definitely some maps that are going to be affected, and I won't know that they're being affected until you guys probably tell me. I know that today, I think today's first map loaded up fine. I know there are some minor issues with the second one. I'm going to try and be fair with the reviews and try and explain what I know is definitely wrong with each map. And yeah, how long until I get things right? I don't know, but I'm going to try and be fair to all maps. So pinch of salt if you can. Also, pinch of the like button if you don't mind. That's right, clicking that like button really does support the channel, gets me seen by more people and helps me grow a little bit more every single time. And those 6 hours didn't include all the hours spent trying to get my game to work. Okay, today's first map, Tampico by MrMiyagi and Teddy Radko, Vanilla and Mass Transit by MrMiyagi and Teddy Radko. But of course I only ever credit the map account holder, there's your start square, in the credit at the bottom, otherwise it can get very messy. It can get very, very messy. Anyway, terrain heights, pretty flat. It's a flat map. Strong resources, of course. Any MrMiyagi map is always set up for playability, and Teddy Radko, massively underrated. There's your fishing if you've got Sunset Harbour. Massively underrated, and I've often forgotten, and should not be. Anyway, Mass Transit map, you will need Mass Transit for this one, and of course a well put together description. It's 100% vanilla. There's a recommendation for the Levant theme mix, but no link to it, and it doesn't automatically load with it, so therefore I'm just rolling with the vanilla tropical, I think this one was, vanilla tropical theme, and the realistic 1.2 LUT, because we always do. Now, I'm pretty confident, and I'm sure if MrMiyagi or Teddy Radko are watching this, they'll be looking at this in horror going, where are all the buildings and all the detail? Judging by the screenshots and judging by my feel for the map, I think this is loaded in 100% perfectly. And you're going to go, well, that's because it's vanilla. Yeah, but I have had trouble getting vanilla maps to load today as well. In fact, say today and yesterday. It's taken me 48 hours just to get these two reviews recorded. So when I say 6 hours to record these two reviews, I'm probably talking more like about, in terms of real time, getting mods to work. I'm 20, 25 hours maybe. I don't normally have problems with DLC. 100% vanilla. 100% vanilla. Look at that bridge. That is magnificent. Magnificent. I'm guessing Teddy Radko's work. I'm guessing. Not seen MrMiyagi do anything quite like this. So yeah, this is superb. This is superb. The wires there, the cables are the where are they called? Monorail rails. Monorail rails. But it is done sublimely. Okay. Absolute credit where it's due. I do love a vanilla bridge, and the vanilla bridges, the custom vanilla bridges, are getting better and better and better, and that's like as good as we've ever seen. It's good to see. Anyway, start square. That's what the start square area will look like. And we're going to do a little bit of a loop on the highways. Again, MrMiyagi highways always set for gameplay. You won't, or you shouldn't, have any problems in terms of gameplay. So yeah, Tampico, we are off on the coast of the Gulf of Mexico. We are in Mexico, and if you're looking to do a recreation of the area, having had a quick look in Google Earth, it does look pretty close to accurate. I'm not saying that's making me sound like a bit of a surprise there. Well, it's surprisingly accurate. No, it's not really. We've got, I'd like to say, a slightly smoother lane merge there. We are using mass transit, so going 2 lanes into 2 lanes, then expanding into 3 lanes. If there's anything on this map that I feel could be a little bit better, it's that one intersection. You might argue that the rest of this area seems a bit bland and a little bit boring. You could argue that, and I would say, given that having had a look down at ground level, what we were working with, I feel that the tree placement here is just enough to break up this land to make it make it nicely interesting. If there was too much more done, I feel it probably would have detracted from the map, to be fair. We have a highway here that goes down there. This is like a wetland area going down here. Again, based on, might look at some areas and go, what, really? I go, well, according to Google Earth, it's pretty much like it down here. Of course, make an allowance for Cities Skylines because it's not really designed to recreate exactly one-to-one. Given what we've been given to play with in the map editor, it's surprising that we can do anything like this full stop. The quality over the years has just improved and improved and improved. So those early pioneers of map making, if you just just look at the old top listed maps, and just look how we've come along and whatever. A few of you might look at this map and go, oh, it's a bit meh. Yeah, compare it to what we had. Look at how far we have come. This, I promise you, while it might be a little bit understated, and it is probably a little bit understated. There you go. There's 3 lanes into 3. I like that. This is very, very nicely done. Very good quality. Nothing for me to moan about really, apart from that one intersection really, and a very nice layout and shape to the map as well, including the start square location is absolutely where I'd want it to be. Everything's good. Anyway, start square over here. Just skip over to the rail. We're not going to stick on the rail for too long because you can probably imagine on a flat map, not too many problems. A couple of creators of the standard, MrMiyagi and Teddy Radko, not going to have any problems. Maybe a little bit of catenary chaos. Maybe a little bit of catenary chaos. Let's have a look. No, even from this height, I can tell that's good. And over from here. Oh, you can see the gap between those two. Yeah, I mean, basically, I would say we're okay. I would say we're okay. Fortunately, though, for the sanity of the show, we do have some memes included, like everybody's favourite factory, sweatshirts and various things with their factory are available, and more will become available. Once I get through this troublesome week that I have ahead, that's one of my priorities, get some of the merch updated. I've got some new designs set up as well, ready to go. Look at the shape of this map. Beautiful. We have this river. We'll come back and look at this building on the end of there in a moment when we do the jumping between interesting points. A little bit glitchy on the left there, but I feel that probably is, again, based on some sort of real-life land formation. A couple of the vanilla piers here kind of work. They're just about far enough apart that it doesn't make it obvious that they're just repeating the same patterns. So I think that's probably about okay. Beaches are lovely. Beaches are very lovely. I'm just loving the shape. You can just imagine sitting on these beaches and wondering where the nearest ice cream truck is, and it's miles away. It's always miles away, isn't it? But anyway, yeah, nice looking beaches. Loving this outflow here. Do feel that the Essential Lighthouse is a little bit lost. Isn't she lovely? A little bit lost on the end there. Possibly a little bit more interesting detailing around that. Maybe there is, and maybe it hasn't loaded. Got to be fair to every map today. And probably a week. I can't even get Bonbon Island to load at the moment. Can you believe that? Not the game, the map. I'll get there. The waterways over here are lovely. Lovely. Just some really interesting shapes going on down here. Again, it's all about how you would want to build a city. A few of you might argue, you'd like to see some river reeds and stuff like that. Maybe they're here. That's what I'm saying. Maybe they're here. Maybe they haven't loaded. We've got to try and be fair. Until I know that everything is working fine, we've got to try and be fair. Loving these sunken highway interchanges as well. These are both in the start square, one on either side of the trumpet interchange. We've got no street light clipping at all, and just a little bit of terrain glitching slightly along the bottom part there, but nothing that I would have any real sweat over at all. So that is very nice indeed. Right, I guess we should have a look at the water flow in the start square. So let's do that. Now the river doesn't actually pass through the start square, just falls slightly short. We do have this lake though, which has strong water flow within. So you can pump and draw into that and you will not have any problems as long as you just put them the right way around. Common sense applies. We have shipping routes. They have the shipping route that comes down through the big old bridge. Everybody loves a big old bridge. I'm not going to share auto shenanigans today just because there's a limit. There is a limit. Oh, my voice is going back with you. So yes, and then we have 4 dead end shipping routes, which means you don't have any ships appear unless they are heading to wherever you placed your harbour. Right, I think we've covered everything of note. It's a nice shaped map, isn't it? Very nice shaped map. Good highway layout, good strong rail layout as well. And should make for an interesting, I mean, multiple different ways of building a city on here. And I think that is the most fascinating thing about this map. But what do you think of it? Is it a 1-star map? Is it a 5-star map? Is it somewhere in between? Your vote really does count. We use it at the end of the month for the Viewers' Choice 10, top 10. Will this be one of the top 10 maps of the month? I think so. Only you can decide. So click the I button now, or the link in the description. It will take you to the voting page where you can vote for free. Just make sure that you're clicking on the correct map when you're voting. Okay, what do I think of Tampico by MrMiyagi and Teddy Radko, Vanilla and Mass Transit by MrMiyagi and Teddy Radko. Aesthetically, I think it's strong, I think it's bold, I think it's clean, it's crisp. Even with the 100% vanilla, you wouldn't know it's 100% vanilla. It's very nice, it's good and strong. I'm going to go 4 stars, slightly below middle 4. It's just lacks a little bit of interest in places for me, but I like it. Detailing seems strong actually, seems very strong. There's a lot more room for added improvements and extras, but I'm going to go with middle 4. Gameplay, look, if you can't have a good city build on this, I don't know what you're picking well want. I'm going right to the top. It's 5 stars for gameplay potential. A very, very, very strong map to start the week. And there might even be some glitches in here that we haven't seen because, of course, DLC. So, right, is it worthy of a seal of approval? I ask you. I think we probably should do. It gets the BonBonB seal of approval. Right, so, what's coming up after the break is a My First map, a very interesting shaped map as well. Don't miss it. Does have 1 or 2 DLC glitches though, which I'll try and explain as we go along. And so back to our second map. Now this one is glorious. I absolutely, well, as soon as I saw this one, I knew I was going to love it. Again, it does have, without doubt, 1 or 2, hopefully minor. Checking the screenshots, it doesn't seem too far out. I don't think we're massively out of the ballpark here. But there are 1 or 2 minor issues with it because of the DLC. But I will get that fixed eventually. It is?
It's my first map.
That's right. And a very nice job too. Today's second map is Cold Water Begins by PhiSlammaJamma. PhiSlammaJamma. What a great name. I want to say Phil Slammer, but apparently Phi. Okay, we've got a start square that looks like this, with the highway coming in at the top and a little bit cutting through on the side. The messes on this are just phenomenal, just phenomenal. It's as good as that screenshot shows. Strong resources, very strong, blocky resources, definitely usable. And then if you've got Sunset Harbour and you want to do some fishing, somehow we have all of the little fishies. Although, yeah, well, no although about it. I was going to say outside of the 25 tiles, but inside of the 25 tiles too. Right, it's a mass transit map. You will do mass transit for this one. There's a one-click collection, nicely put together short description as well, including some yeah, what highlights to look out for, sunken ships and free tier waterfalls, and loads of stuff going on there. And just a few recommendations, all that sort of thing. Now, the one-click collection is medium length. We've got some, like, falling water. Who's ever used falling water in a map before? That's the building, of course. We've got some next to inspired highways, elevated rails, all that sort of stuff. Unlimited outside connections you don't need. For building the map you do, for that you don't. And I've got the old version of Daylight Classic. I'm sure many of you will already know that. So I do have Daylight Classic with everything is in place. So this map has definitely been affected at least slightly by the DLC. I think the first thing we're going to see wasn't a DLC effect, because I'd expect it to have caused more issues than this one. I think this might be a missing thing from the map itself. And this is this first bridge down here with these custom little arches. We seem to have one missing here. Everywhere else on this bridge, all the arches have loaded in, but not there. So I'm going to speculate that that is within the map itself. But you're going to say, yeah, but hang on. If the trees haven't loaded in, then that's probably the same with that bridge. You could be right. You could be right. Having said that, in the description it does say that the trees are sparse on this map. Now, they're more than sparse. I've done the tree count, and the trees on this map are 0, which says to me the map has been affected by the DLC. And my current settings. It's not the DLC, it's my mod settings. Let's not blame the DLC, okay? It's look at the intersection, it's lovely. It's more than lovely, it's great work, okay? So what we have is the DLC's come along, my mod settings, and I have. Honestly, I've been playing about with the mods so much. I've even been copying known working mod formats with 1 or 2 changes, because there are certain, a city builder doesn't use exactly the same mod setup as a map reviewer and so on. Bridge there looks very nice. It's just hovering a little bit. You may have noticed there that in terms of it doesn't quite clip into the ground properly. Again, I feel that that's not the map. That's probably the map build. Anyway, so what we got, what we've got is a map that if this map wasn't close to how it was appearing in the screenshots, and honestly, if you check the screenshots and cross compare with what we're seeing here, it looks the same. This is the thing. If I'm not going to actually review a map that is so far from what the creator intended that you'll notice the rail here going to go up and down some hills a little bit. It's not a realist map. It's more a fantastical map, this one. So the rail will see a little bit of up and down going on. So yes, this week I've no idea whether there will be more shows, because I have no idea if any other maps are going to load. Oh, as pillars, there's probably meant to be a pillar along here. I suspect that there is a pillar where that bump is by the edge of the river. I suspect that's a DLC issue. Again, I'm speculating on every single one of these things. I don't know. This map I loaded about 20 times. In total, I think I've loaded it about 20 times. And it's still haven't quite got it perfect. Anyways, I'm at this point in the recording, this bad editing, I forgot I stopped here. You may have noticed underneath the BonBonB logo a moment ago, something popped up. That was Discord. I forgot I had Discord running. This is why, if any of you wonder, why doesn't BonBon respond on Discord? He says he's on Discord. Yeah, because I get pop-ups all the time. I haven't worked out how to disable notifications. So, within game. So yes, I had to switch off Discord at that point, because it was just going to keep firing and firing and firing. And it's no good for me. Anyway, we're going to go left. And we're going to go through another nice intersection. Another nice intersection up here that isn't fully connected. I suspect that this is deliberate by the creator for it not to be connected, but you can connect it up and in. Again, I'm speculating. Maybe we just got to say that this is actually connected in the map itself. But yeah, I know a lot of you shaking your heads going, "Oh, BonBon, the map's not properly loaded." from what I've seen in the screenshots, this is close. This is close enough to make a decision on. And the problems that we're seeing aren't things that you won't be confident in just going down and fixing yourself. It's not a big issue, right? It's not far. A tiny little bit of glitching here with the terrain cutting through, and the shape, the merging is a bit awkward. Also the rail here as well. We've got this custom asset which just glitches through a little bit. Again, I'm suspecting that that is going to be the case in the fully loaded map as well. So yeah, there are things just from experience I'm looking at going, probably is like that in the real map, and probably is being caused by my DLC, and actually honestly I don't know. There's the 3 levels here. A little bit of wandering with the highway there. The equidistance has just been breaking away from, but look, for a first map this is pretty solid, and even completely devoid of trees. Even if you told me before that this map had no trees on it, I'm actually okay with it. It feels like a map that shouldn't have many trees on it. And PhiSlammaJamma has sparsely used trees on the map, mostly as sort of around the water's edge, some river reeds and a couple of mangrove trees here and there, that kind of thing. That's the level they've gone to. So the fact that the trees are missing makes very little difference on this particular map. And I think they've almost got it just about right, I feel. Anyway, there's your start square with our 2 dead-end highways. With the highway just cutting along the mesa at the top. We've got a little bit of mesa as well in the start square. Very neat indeed. Now let's have a little look at the rail. Okay, so true realists are not going to like the rail too much. It's not the worst. It doesn't go up any cliffs, and it doesn't do anything really roller coastery. But, and like here, you can see here we have got ourselves some switchbacks on the rail to bring us down a little bit. But you can still see that we have got a little bit of a ramp coming down. It's like I say, it's not quite true to real, but it's still pretty neat. Some very nice shapes going on there. And in terms of routing, quite scenic. Mind you, it's very hard to not go somewhere scenic on this map. It's a scenic map. It's a scenic map. Look at this river network thing going on. It's just very pretty. Very, very pretty indeed. Elevated section in the middle of the map if you want to get a build going on up there. This I'm feeling is a quarry. It's not our typical sort of quarry. Not all quarries are typical. That's pretty neat. I quite like what's been done there. We've been to here, but I'm going to show you it again. There is another one as well that in fact I meant to load in the other one when I did this jump to, which is even more intricate than those road networks we just saw there. We have a pre-cut harbour area, which I think was made in the map editor and not checked in the game engine, because this just doesn't look like it is meant to be like this. So yes, highly recommend always checking your work in the game engine. I don't think this is a DLC issue. I don't think the DLC would have caused this, but maybe it did. There is some rock work that extends beyond the keys there, so maybe it is intended to be that way. To me, I don't feel it should. Maybe the rocky areas possibly, but the land just doesn't quite feel perfect to me. Loving this river system. We're going to follow it most of the way up. It just feels real. And of course, using the Coospe theme and the sand painting within the Coospe theme, we've got an incredible effect. An absolute incredible effect. And the rock work as well, under the bridge there, the rock work as well has just been used the right amount. They haven't gone overboard. They could easily have gone absolutely nuts. And sometimes less is more. And sometimes more is more. And often more is more, but today less is definitely more. Less in terms of not overdoing the rock detailing, and of course the lack of foliage. But there will be, if you load this map up and you have no mod problems, there will be some foliage. Now, have a look at this for detailing, okay? You can't see it yet. I did mention it at the start of the show, but we'll take a very quick flyover of it. We follow this dirt track down. You may notice it's slightly elevated as well. I have the Common Ground mod in operation. Maybe that's broken. Don't think it is, but maybe it is. Then I've tried the 81 tile mod. Okay, what we'll do is we will unlock all areas in the 81 tile mod, and it's made no difference. So I know we've and this I have the new 81 tile mod as well. I know if you're going to go new, yeah, I have the new one as well. Little bridge over there into a tunnel. Tunnel emerges into falling water. This classic, beautiful, a little bit of architecture there. Just set, framed, lovely. I'm sure there's probably a little bit of foliage in there in the actual game, but not one that we're going to be able to see, sadly. Now I came back to this intersection. Well, I come back to this intersection. Hang on, I'm losing myself. Now I've had a look at that one. I told you it's going to be a funny week. It's going to be a funny week. I think I've seen everything that I wanted to show you, I think, at this point. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pan around, look for a decent location to do the end frame from. But yes, I really like this. Can I just say that? I really like this. I like what has been done. Big fan of the Kuspe theme, as you'll know. I used it on BonBon Island. But this is exceptional use of that very same theme. But what do you think of it as a 1-star map? Is it a 5-star map? Is it somewhere in between? Your vote really does count. We use it at the end of the month for the Viewers' Choice Top 10. Remember, when you're voting, of course, just to give a little bit of allowance for the fact that we know that this map has been at least slightly affected by the DLC glitches. And make sure you're voting on the right map, of course. Right, what do I think of Cold Water Begins by PhiSlammaJamma? Ah, well, aesthetically, this is bold. This is bold, and I love it. I love it. I'm not going to forget it for a long while. Maybe it could have a little bit more to it. Maybe it does have a little bit more to it. I'm going to give it a little bit more. I probably would have gone low end 4 stars, but I feel it's probably got a bit more in it without any of the glitching. So I'm going to go just below middle 4. Detailing. The standards that I'm seeing are 4-star. There might be a little bit more in here, but there's not much on there. I probably normally would go for a very high 3. I'm going to push it into low 4 out of benefit of the doubt. And then for gameplay potential, yeah, same again. Same again. Probably would be bottom end of 4 stars. I'm going to push it up a little bit just to give it a little bit of benefit of the doubt on this one. I feel it probably is about just below middle 4. Very interesting. Lots of fun to be had. Cold Water Begins by PhiSlammaJamma. I won't be awarding the BonBonB seal of approval because there is a little bit of doubt. I'll only approve it if I'm certain. But I probably would do. Take this as a note of caution. BonBonB says it's probably got the seal of approval, but I just cannot say for certain. And that is my problem, not PhiSlammaJamma's. Sorry, Jamma. Wish I really could reward you with that one. But it's too soon. Too soon. How did that work out? I don't know. Anyway, thanks for watching, for commenting, for liking, and for subscribing. Hopefully you'll be back on Wednesday if I can get my mods to allow at least 2 more, at least 1 more map to load up. We will see. And I'll be back very, very soon. Have a great and safe day. Thanks for watching.